Nosferatu, Dracula, Strad von Zarovich, Vladislav. These 4 names are synonymous with vampires. In tabletop gaming, they are a staple in the fantasy genre, so chances are any game that you play with a fantasy setting is going to have a vampire in it some way. So I'm going to show you how I paint vampire skin, just to make it look a little bit more different to a pale person or a zombie. The vampire skin is very pale with blue-green tones, which will really help set them apart from other ways of painting the undead I've shown on this channel. It also contrasts nicely with blood effects. I'll be showing you how to do this with a noble Strigoi from Carnevale by TTCombat. The model is from the Strigoi starter set and he's a leader option for the faction. For this, I'll be painting his face and his hands. To start off, we'll use Ironrack skin for the base coat. Paint in all the areas of skin. Face, ears, a small bit of the neck behind the jawline, and his hands are all shown on this model. If like me you've painted other areas of the model first, try to be very neat to avoid having to touch up areas you may have messed up. On the other model I showed, she has sleeves covered in sheer material. Paint areas like that as skin, then glaze the material over it for a nice effect. It took me about 3 coats to get a good solid colour. Make sure previous coats are dry before applying the next. Next up I'm using Watercolour's Marine shade, but any blue wash will work. I've thinned down this wash a little, then applied it to the skin we've just painted. Watercolour shades are nice and neat to work with and they give a great effect on this model, giving great colour to the recesses of the detail and tinting the previous layer of paint evenly. Once it's dried you may get a bit of a shock at the turquoise skin, but that's exactly what we want for the recesses of the detail, don't panic. Next we'll paint the majority of the skin using Deepkin Flesh. It's a really desaturated green tone that will work well with the colours below it. Paint the skin leaving the previous layer around the edges where the skin meets other areas like the hairline, recesses of the eyes, the sunken cheeks and between the fingers. And don't forget to paint the ears. He has a better look once it's done. I've emphasised the furrowed brow to give his smirk a really sinister look. His eyes are dark and his sunken cheeks force your gaze to his eyes. On his hands we've brought a lot of detail out and it's made his claws look all that much more dangerous. To do the final highlights we're using Pallid Witch Flesh. It's a great off-white that complements the colours beneath it without being too stark, like a pure white. Using a small brush we're going to detail in areas like the eyebrows, the tops of the cheekbones, the nose and chin. On the hands we're getting the tops of the hands, fingers and the knuckles, just anywhere that light will hit. It's important to keep this step small on the face as the details are very fine. I want to keep some of the areas of the previous layer shown wherever we paint here. A thin line along the jaw really helps frame the face and really makes the face a focal point. With that, we've painted all of the vampire skin on the model. I just need to finish off a couple more bits of this model and he's ready for the table. Be sure to follow TTClub Gaming on Instagram to see him once he's finished. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't and hit subscribe to easily see my next video. Or don't. Whatever, you're your own person, do what you like.